Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Thursday, November 16th, and we are here trying to provide you with unconventional and entertaining insights on your money and your life. To do that, we ask you to do something. Go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air live with us. It's really so much more fun. We get to extract more information out of you, and hopefully you get to maybe reorient yourself towards what you want to happen. You get to see what paths lie ahead of you, which one seems the right one for you today. You can always, by the way, choose a different path. Nothing is set in stone here. We are trying to give you options. That's really what the show is about. So if you have a question, something's going on in your financial life, go to jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air. While you're on the website, check out all the content that lives there, including our subscription service called Jill on Money Live. For $35, you'll have access to quarterly live webinars. Next one's coming up in December, just about 3.5 weeks from now. We're going to do year-end tax and financial planning with my former employee, protege, I might even say, Daniel Forbes. He's a great guy. You'll also can get access to all the bonus video content that lives behind the paywall. So lots of good stuff there. Today, we are joined by Paul, who's on the line from the Midwest. Hello, Paul. What's going on?
It's going well here. We're contemplating a money reset in a few years. And
tell me more. I like the way you think, my man. A reset. What is the reset going to entail? Something exotic?
It's basically transitioning from corporate roles into roles with a little more time freedom. My wife's mother was affected by earlier onset Alzheimer's, and that runs in the family. And that's what really prompted listening to your podcast and reading through the book and starting to put a plan together.
First of all, I'm sorry about that. I love the idea of taking control of it, though, and maybe altering what you thought was going to be your destiny. And I think this is a great idea. So let's start with some of the basics, Paul. How old are you?
I'm a little over 50, 53.
That's a little bit of a fudge you just did there.
My wife's 50.
Yeah, a little over, when you said a little over 50, I'm like, oh, 50 and a half? No, 53. That's a real, okay. And your wife is 50.
Correct.
How much do you earn right now in your corporate jobs?
We make on the order of $28,000 a month, excluding taxes.
Is that a net number that you're giving me, or is that a gross number?
Net of taxes, correct.
Okay. You have kids?
We do, 3.
Oh, how old are they?
15, 17, and 19.
Have you guys set aside money for college for the kids?
We have. We've started 529s the month each was born, and we have enough to fund state schools. And with merit aid and any loans, they know they can cover the rest.
That's great. Is the sophomore in college in a state college?
He is in a private college, but he got merit aid that was basically equivalent to state school. So he's in good shape.
Okay, great. What about your home? Do you have you still have kids at home. So what's your house worth?
Our house is worth $650,000 if you believe Zillow.
Okay, why not? What about a mortgage? Do you have one?
We don't on our home.
Is that it for the property, the primary, or is there anything else?
We have a cabin that's worth $550,000, and that.
What's with you Midwestern? Can I just say one thing? You Midwesterners, you kind of rock my world. You say the word cabin, and I think it's like, oh, it's a one-room log cabin, but it's not. It's a fancy house, isn't it?
This one is pretty small. It's about 1,000 square feet, and
how could it be $550,000?
We bought it for a lot less than that in 2018.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a mortgage on that one?
We have a small mortgage of $70,000.
What's the interest rate on that?
3.25.
Would either of these homes be available for sale to help finance your transition from the corporate roles?
Out of the gate, no. At some point, we would downsize. We don't need a home the size that we're currently in. Once the kids are launched, we'll.
Fair enough. Okay, now let's talk about the money that you have saved in investment assets. So you got a big chunk of money of income. What have you put aside in retirement plans?
We have a 2.3 million in 401ks.
Are those pre-tax?
Yep.
What else?
And then 200K in Roth 401ks. We just started those a few years back.
Okay.
And
Good.
we have 100,000 in a traditional IRA and 45,000 in a Roth.
Cash in the bank?
We have 400K in a money market account, normal checking account, not a large balance there.
Mm-hmm.
And then 180K in a brokerage and 25K in a HSA.
So this is a lot of money. Will either of you be entitled to a pension?
I will get a small $1,000 a month pension from a prior employer that can start in 2027.
Is there a game plan right now? Because, I mean, look, you're young, right? So is there an idea of timing for this?
Yeah, we're thinking between 2026 and 2028.
Would you guys be working, just making much less money? Is that the
We
game
would.
plan?
We're thinking about renting out the cabin a few months each year to make a little bit of income, and then a wholesale club, home improvement store, that kind of work on the side, but more part-time with a lot more time freedom.
So between renting the cabin and the part-time income, I'm just going to use 2027 since you said 26 to 28. I'm going to say, also because it just so happens that that's when your pension kicks in. So just for argument, let's just look at 2027. What would you, in today's dollars is okay. What do you think the rent would bring in from the cabin?
I think the cabin probably $15,000 a year.
Part-time income, what do you think that you would be counting on?
85,000 a year between the two of us.
I'm going to say 80. Do you think that you could live on your pension income, your rental of the cabin, and the part-time income? Could you live on that amount of money, or are we going to need to dip into some of your assets for that?
I think we will dip into some of our assets. Our expenses today are about $15,000 a month.
Presuming that you bring in 9 between the pension, the rental, and your regular income, then we just have to find $6,000 a month, right? This is all simple math, everybody. This is what we call the old back of the envelope kind of calculation. I'm not carrying interest. I'm not carrying for inflation. I get it, because sometimes I get some complaints about that. But it's simple math, and we can just kind of give it a go here. So how long would you be willing to put the transition period into effect? So if you started in 2027, right, 4 years from now, you're 57, your wife's 54. How long are we willing to do that for?
A couple years, and we're trying to build our brokerage position and money market position over the coming years to have enough to cover at least those 2 years before I could tap my 401k.
What about health care? I mean, you got a lot of years before 65.
Yeah.
Would you just use the Affordable Care Act?
The job, I budgeted $15,000 a year. I don't know if that's near enough, but the jobs that we're looking at, part-time jobs, do have some benefits with them. But we're a ways away from that.
I presume because you have very high income, both of you, that your age 67 and 70 Social Security benefits are pretty rich. Do you have an idea of the estimate?
I do. At full retirement age, mine will be $38,000 and my wife's $30,000. At 70, mine's $45,000, and I don't think I'll take mine until then.
If I'm hearing you right, you're in your early 50s. You want to essentially take the money that you're making now and try to really front load your money market and brokerage account, right? Are you pulling back on retirement contributions right now or not?
Yeah, we just took them down to the company match.
That's good.
A month or two ago.
All right. So now all the excess is going in brokerage and money market. You work for a few more years, 2-3 more years. I mean, look, if the markets are good to you, maybe you'll look at this in 2 years and say, you know what? We're in good shape. We're going to reallocate. We're going to lock in some of these gains. We're good. I think you'll have plenty of money. I mean, when I think about what you're hoping to accomplish, I think because you're willing to both work part-time for a couple of years, it's a big advantage. Your fail-safe option is, yes, I think this can work. You may have to work more than 2 years. It might be that it's more like 3 years or 4 years if something bad goes on, right? If there's like a horrible recession and markets are in like free fall and you can't really make 80 grand a year. For a couple of years, you made 60 and you had to dip more into your money. But if you're flexible, then I think you can do this, because obviously by the time you're ready to access some retirement accounts, you'll start pulling money out. You'll pay the tax that's due. You will be able to make it to your age 70 pretty easily. You will definitely plow through some cash, but it doesn't seem like you're huge spenders. And it also seems like the other side of the fail-safe package is not just that you would work, but that you could eventually sell one of these homes. Maybe both, we'll see. But let's say it's one, or even just not even sell it outright and just pocket the money, but maybe it's sell it and spend some money on a smaller place. And we'll see where your kids end up. That's going to obviously play into this. In case interest rates start coming down next year, and I don't know if they are or not, but let's just say they do, maybe today it might make sense to get some of that money market account. I know you like the liquidity, but maybe I would buy like a 5-year, a 3-year, a 2-year CD and lock that in.
Here's the kicker with that.
Yeah.
We are starting a cabin edition.
Oh, hello. You didn't, what was that? Where was that in my whole story?
Sorry, I didn't get to that sooner.
Uh-huh.
And that will be about 300,000. So
what?
That takes that 400 down to 1.
Oh, you're killing me, dude. That's not, you're building a whole nother cabin. Do you have to do that? Oh my God. All right. Let me ask you this. Are you willing to keep working full time in your crapo corporate jobs that you hate while that's going on?
I can work longer. I enjoy my job. I think my wife is a little bit more burned out.
Well, let's take her off the hook. Okay, you're going to plow through all that cash. That's one thing. But then you have got to make the pinky swear that you're going to stay in your horrible corporate job for a little bit longer till we can get that cash position built back up. I didn't realize we were going to spend all your cash down. Dang it.
Yeah, I think I can get to 300,000 in the money market and probably 300,000 in a brokerage by the 2026 timeframe.
Let's see.
I can see where working another year or two
going to help. Every year, every month you extend it, the better it's going to be. I'm sort of thinking that, okay, let's say that in 3 years, your wife's 53, you're 56. See where things stand, right? And then it might be you say to her, babe, you know what? You're done. I'm going to keep working. And maybe you're going to work for another couple of years. Maybe you're going to work till you're 59 and a half because you just want to like bridge that gap. And that allows you to really replenish this money. If you're willing to do that, I'm on board with a game plan.
Okay.
But if you're like going to do a little bait and switch on Aunt Jill and say, yeah, I'll do that. And then it's like, no, I don't want to, she's going to retire without me. She's going to have fun without. No, I mean, it's just like sort of a grown up decision. And I think it's great. But the premise of a reset is that you are willing to make some sacrifice, and your sacrifice may be, for some people, it's like, I just won't spend as much money. You read the book, For others, it's I will work longer, or one of us will work longer because it allows the other to take a chill. Or you might say that if you're able to work a little bit longer in your full-time gig and then also work a little bit longer for your part-time gig, it all works. But we have to be flexible in approaching this kind of big, huge decision.
No, I like that. And I like potentially transitioning one of us out of a corporate role into more of a part-time role first and get some experience with that before we both.
You first, honey. Now, have you done your estate planning, Paul?
We have. It was last updated in 2018.
Thank goodness. Anything else that we can help you out with today?
No, this is very helpful. Thanks for the sanity check and for everything that you guys do.
Well, we appreciate you. If you, like Paul and his wife, are considering a great money reset, first of all, buy my book. Don't be a cheapskate. Buy the book. It's we link to it on the website or buy it wherever you buy books. But if you want us to kind of double check what's going on with your game plan, go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and let us know if you would be willing to come on the air live. We love when you do that. Don't forget to leave us a rating and review wherever you listen, and put your hands metaphorically on someone's back. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.